Preacher Boy Inc.
What up, Gutta And Saved Hit Squad? Y'all already know we won't be bullied. We bully the bullies, and we turn our intellect into a check, man. Today, man, we got some horrible news in hip hop, man. A member of the group Migos, Takeoff, was tragically killed in Houston, Texas, due to some unfortunate and crazy circumstances, man. So stay tuned, man. Let's chop this up.
Gutta And Saved, they can't stand me.
We have another slain rapper. Takeoff from the group Migos was shot and killed at a bowling alley in Houston, Texas. Witnesses say that an altercation broke out. It's not clear on what was said, for that altercation to take place, but ultimately shots rang out, and sources say that Takeoff was hit in the head by a stray bullet, causing him, to die on the scene. Takeoff's death comes at a shock to the hip hop, rap community, as, he was one of the, third members of the popular group Migos. A lot of people knew who they was. A lot of people loved and jigged to their music. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate he was killed at the young age of 28 years old. Now, I saw the video, of Takeoff, shot in the head on the ground, and Quavo screaming over his body. Quavo, which is his uncle and, fellow member in the group, was screaming over his lifeless body and shaking the man. Man, I gotta tell you, man, that was a tough watch. I don't know. I don't think y'all should go watch it. It was tough for me to watch. I ain't even gonna front, man. I shed a little tear, man, because it's not because I'm a fan or I knew him personally. It's mainly because I can't stand seeing young black brothers be gunned down like this. It's almost like every month a rapper is being killed somewhere, man. And it's just horrible. It's horrible to see anybody be killed, but when it's a young black boy coming up, he made a living off of music, a really great living off of music, and he's rich now, and him to be gunned down the way he did over a dice game that he wasn't really involved in, the sources are saying. It's just crazy, man. It breaks my heart. Now, I'm not going to play the video. TMZ played a few clips. A couple other social media influencers played some clips. I'm not going to play the clip because that man, got a family, man. And I don't want my platform, to propagate, thinking it's cool to play stuff like that. It's just not cool. It's unfortunate that he died in the way he died, but to play it on the internet for his family to continue to see, and it's to me that just is crazy that people was doing that. Now, although it's not totally clear on why the altercation started, TMZ again they played a clip, a little piece of the clip. You see Quavo arguing with somebody, and it seemed like they was arguing over some basketball, and then you hear Quavo say, man, I ain't about that. And then like soon after, man, you see people scattering and running, and then you hear shots ring out. Now, a source on Twitter said, now this is still alleged. The story is still developing, so I'm just going to say it's alleged. The Twitter post says Takeoff never saw it coming. He was hit with a stray bullet in the head. It was an accident. Some people saying that, it was people with him who did it. They was shooting back, and he stood up and got shot in the back of the head. We don't know. We don't know how he got shot or who shot him, whether he was shot, whether it was friendly fire or he was shot by, one of the other guys. We don't know. The story is still being developed. All we know is that young man lost his life at a dice game. And they also said it was about 40 people there too. So, the Migos had their entourage, and the other guys had their entourage, and they was gambling, and I don't get how these rappers keep finding themselves in these type of situations, man, seeing what's going on in these streets with these rappers. But man, it is what it is. A lot of these rappers ain't learning from the mistakes that rappers who was killed, before them. They're not learning from their mistakes. I don't know if they guess they invincible. I don't know. We don't know the circumstances behind it. I know let's say if I was a rapper and I was invited to a party like that, and you know, these dudes out here gambling and all that stuff, man, I'm going back to the telly. I'm out. I'm going back to the telly. I'm going back to the crib, or if I'm out of state, if I'm on unfamiliar territory, like they was in Houston, but and Amigos from Atlanta, when that type of stuff is going down, I'm going back to the telly. Take me back to the telly. I'm staying out the way. Now that's just me. I don't know if a lot of these young rappers feel like they have something to prove because they got, because they got to, hang around certain crowds of dudes to try to feel cool or whatever. I don't know. But, yo, it's time to put that pride to the side because, man, y'all getting clipped off. Real rap. A lot of you hip hop artists is getting clipped off like monthly, seems like. Now, before I close up, man, let me tell y'all one thing that really disturbed me, man, about this whole situation. And it really blows my mind, and it really gets under my skin. How people will pull out their phones and start recording, this man bleed out and post it on the internet for his mother, his brothers, his dad, his nephews, his uncles, and if he have kids, I don't know if Takeoff had kids. And all the rest of his family members to see him all laid out, bleeding and taking his last breath, man. You Negroes is sickening, man. You Negroes is out of y'all mind. Y'all do anything for clicks, likes, and views, man. I tell you, sometimes I can't stand you Negroes, man. I'm real rap, man. And I got to give y'all the Ice Cube Ice Grill of the day.
Remedial. I said, what the hell?
Real rap. Like, y'all will hit record before you dial 911. Recording that man bleeding out and taking his last breath like, they did P&B Rock, Nipsey, Young Dolph, and all the rest is insane to me. Y'all will hit record before you dial 911, man. Now, there's a lot of speculation and conspiracy theories going on this whole topic, man. I ain't trying to go down that rabbit hole because we just don't know. I wasn't there, My heart go out to Takeoff and his family, and all the rest of the members of the group. It's very saddening, man, that this man lost his life at a dice game the way he did. It's very sad. Coming from the hood, we see that all too often, man. We see that all too often coming from the hood. People get to playing, rolling the dice. Egos get involved. People get mad because they losing money. And you know how we do in the hood. Everybody start talking crazy and, saying this, that, and the third. And the person who's losing their money all in their feelings. And then the person who's winning, they get a little cocky and, they feeling themselves. And, egos get involved. People start arguing and fighting and shots ring out. And we all have stories of people being killed at a dice game over, some situations. So this situation is unfortunate that it happened to a superstar because you would think, man, like what you at a dice game for? You rich. But I also understand that's the culture of hip hop. The culture of hip hop, it's a lot of things that involve in that culture. And unfortunately, playing dice around, with people and gambling and the way they was gambling is one of those things. It's cultural. It's, we do that in the hood and certain, how they say you could take the ball out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the ball, man. This is an unfortunate situation. I know how I say that I've been saying that all through this podcast, but all in all, it's hip hop culture. Hey, man, I thank y'all for rocking out with me. It's your boy, Reese Johnson. This is the Gutta And Saved podcast. Hey, make sure y'all check out our merch store, gasmerch.com, man. Gasmerch.com, where you can get some of the latest and greatest, hottest sweatshirts out there, man. Gasmerch.com. Man, I catch y'all on the flip. Peace.
Gutta and Saved, they can't stand me.